Alright, continuing on with the Mustang front battery, Alan has fabricated and tacked together this bottom cradle. So this battery is now setting upside down. So this is a cradle that's being put together for the bottom, which is ultimately going to mount to rubber motor mounts, 4 of them, to attach to the front frame section. So the first thing we did is just he tacked it together to check fit. And now over here he's fabricating the side flanges that will bolt to the sides of the case. And that's being made out of 1/4-inch steel, but will have a little bit of style to it. The front mounting cradle continues forward. So as you can see, we took this frame that had been built, and there's 3/8-inch holes drilled on the inside, and then a 5/8 hole. What's going to happen is socket cap screws are going to go through here, and then this will attach to the bottom of the battery. We have these side pieces here that are going to act as braces for the corners. So the battery will be secured down, it'll be secured laterally through these screw holes here, and then you'll have supports on all 4 corners, and then this whole metal chassis will be secured to the frame with 4 rubber bushioned motor mounts. Pretty sweet. Now I've got to clean up these welds and continue forward. Alright, the next step is the front battery cradle. After being fabricated here with the sides and everything, it's just got test fitted, and it's going to fit perfectly in this front area. And then it's lifted slightly up off the bottom frame. And to secure it to the sides, what we have is we fabricated these steel sleeves, which are just the right size for the rubber bushings to insert in standard rubber motor mounts. And then these corner pieces have been machined, and those are going to be welded to these pieces here. Then those will be put on a set of ears that attach to the frames, and then we'll bolt the battery carrier through these rubber bushings. There'll be 4 of them, and so the battery will be completely suspended. As you can see, the sides have been welded on, the ears, the tubes that are going to hold the rubber bushings for the motor mounts. So it's all assembled. I've been doing the body work on it, ground it all out, smoothed it out, filled it in here and there with a little bit of filler, and we're now working on the slick sand to keep doing that until we get it beautiful so it'll match the rest of the battery. Love it. So as part of installing the front battery carrier, we also need to notch the front crossmember to set the motor down to the right height. So to strengthen the notch we're going to take some of this steel, and we're going to actually extend the crossmember down to give it more depth, so that when we notch it, it'll keep the same amount of strength as it had originally. Okay, so you can see here, after I fabricated the plate to strengthen the crossmember, let's see if we zoom in a little bit here. You can see here's the weld lines. Okay, so this plate runs the entire length, is capped at the ends, so everything looks nice. And by adding this extra thickness, that allows us to come up here and do a notch to make room for the oil pan that sits under the AC motor core to recess in here, aligning everything up with the tunnel just the way we need it. And there you have it. Alright, the notching is done. So in addition to adding this bottom plate of a much heavier gauge steel, before we sealed the top plates, we installed another piece of 1/4-inch steel and to reinforce it on the inside. Then on the back side here, and I apologize for the dim lighting, this is a piece of 1/4-inch steel that's cut to fill and hug all these brace supports that can be welded in, and it'll also be spot welded along. So this will more than make up for the material that's been removed. I can assure you this is stronger than it ever was. Excellent. So here's part of the exciting fun of doing a conversion. So front suspension completely removed again, and the battery case mounts have now been welded in, the ears, and I'm doing some straightening up work around here. Next up will be the motor mounts, which will be welded somewhere into this frame area over here, and then I can clean it all back up and ready to chassis black the whole thing. Slowly but surely getting there. So now the cradle has been chassis blacked and the bushings have been pressed in. So you can see what I was talking about here, where you have your 4 bushings that will then set in those ears that I just showed you that have been welded onto the frame in the front, and that will securely suspend the battery and isolate it from shock and vibration. But what about the back battery? Well, hundreds of hours of machining have fabricated these case parts exactly the same as the front, just different size. But tremendous amounts of CNC work, so progress continues there. That'll be part of another video.